Beneath the shimmering blue expanse of the West Philippine Sea lies a geological marvel that few ever see, but whose presence is felt across the archipelago: the Manila Trench. This massive hidden scar on the ocean floor is a testament to the restless forces shaping our planet, quietly influencing the lives of millions above. The trench stretches an astonishing 1,200 kilometers, running from the northern tip of Luzon all the way down to Mindoro. It hugs the western edge of the Philippines, forming a deep, narrow valley beneath the waves that mirrors the shape of our islands above. The Manila Trench is what scientists call a subduction zone, a place where two massive tectonic plates collide. Here, the heavier Eurasian plate is forced downwards, sliding beneath the lighter Philippine sea plate. This slow-motion collision happens over millions of years, building up unimaginable pressure deep within the Earth's crust, like a ticking time bomb waiting to go off. The trench runs almost parallel to the western coast of Luzon, placing countless communities, bustling cities, quiet fishing villages, and vibrant towns directly in its shadow. For the people living here, the trench is an invisible neighbor, shaping the land and the risks they face every day. Plunging to depths of over 5,000 meters, the Manila Trench is one of the deepest parts of the Philippine Sea. Its proximity to some of the country's most densely populated regions, including Metro Manila, makes it a focal point for disaster preparedness and scientific research. The threat it poses is not just theoretical, it's a real and present danger. The friction between these colossal plates is like a spring wound, tighter and tighter with each passing year. Eventually the tension will become too great, and the plates will slip, releasing a burst of energy in the form of a powerful earthquake. This sudden movement can trigger tsunamis and widespread destruction along the coast. Understanding the Manila Trench is not just a scientific pursuit, it's a matter of survival. This silent giant has shaped the very land we live on, influencing the formation of our islands and the lives of generations. Yet it remains a source of uncertainty and risk, a reminder of nature's immense power. That's why scientists at PHIVOLCS are working tirelessly, using advanced technology to monitor the trench and measure the pressure building up beneath our feet. Their mission is urgent because when it comes to the Manila Trench, it's not a question of if this force will be unleashed, but when. The more we learn, the better prepared we can be for whatever the future holds. PHIVOLCS's warnings about the Manila Trench have grown increasingly urgent, driven by a surge of new seismic data and a series of recent earthquake swarms that have caught the attention of experts worldwide. Scientists are now working around the clock, analyzing every tremor and monitoring subtle shifts in the Earth's crust, searching for patterns that could signal a much larger event on the horizon. The sense of urgency is palpable, as each new data point adds to a growing body of evidence that the region is entering a period of heightened risk. The last major earthquake from the Manila Trench struck in 1658, over 360 years ago. Since then, the region has experienced a long, uneasy silence. This quiet period, while seemingly peaceful, actually means that stress has been quietly accumulating along the fault line for centuries. The Earth's plates are constantly in motion, and when they become locked, energy builds up, waiting for the moment it will be released. History shows that such long intervals between major quakes often precede powerful destructive events. In December 2024, a swarm of over 170 tremors off the coast of Ilocos Sur signaled that the Manila Trench is far from dormant. These tremors, occurring in rapid succession, are a clear indication that the region is restless. Seismologists track these swarms closely, as they can sometimes precede larger, more dangerous earthquakes. The clustering of so many quakes in such a short time has raised alarms within the scientific community and among local authorities. These small quakes are not just random events, they are reminders that the tectonic plates beneath the Philippines are constantly moving, grinding against each other and reshaping the landscape. Even minor shifts can create visible changes on the surface, such as ground fissures and subtle land movements, which are all signs of the immense forces at work deep underground. The entire system is under tremendous pressure, like a tightly wound spring. Scientists use advanced equipment to measure this stress, examining rock samples and monitoring pressure gauges to better understand how much energy is being stored. Every reading, every sample, tells a story of mounting tension that could be released at any moment. Experts now warn that a large segment of the Manila Trench could rupture all at once, unleashing centuries of stored energy in a single catastrophic event. Such a rupture would not only cause massive ground shaking but could also trigger tsunamis and widespread destruction along the coast. Scientists are using computer models and historical data to predict the possible impacts, but the exact timing remains uncertain. The silence that hangs over the region isn't a sign of safety, it's a warning. The calm before a storm where everything appears normal on the surface, but deep below, the Earth is preparing for a dramatic release of energy. This deceptive quiet should not lull communities into a false sense of security. The recent earthquake swarm is a wake-up call for everyone living near the Manila Trench. It's a stark reminder that the fault is alive and active, and that preparation is essential. Communities are urged to participate in earthquake drills, review emergency plans, and stay informed about the latest scientific findings. Preparedness can make the difference between life and death when disaster strikes. PHIVOLCS' alerts are not meant to cause panic, but to inform the public and urge action before disaster strikes. By heeding these warnings and taking proactive steps, we can reduce the risks and protect our communities from the devastating effects of a major earthquake. A magnitude 8.4 earthquake from the Manila Trench would be unlike anything we've experienced. The energy released would dwarf the 1990 Luzon quake, with violent shaking lasting minutes and devastating the entire western coast. Buildings, bridges, and roads, especially those not built to modern standards, could collapse or become impassable. Metro Manila would face catastrophic damage, with high-rises, hospitals, and infrastructure at risk. Landslides in mountainous areas and liquefaction in coastal zones would compound the chaos. Emergency services would be overwhelmed, and basic needs like water, food, and shelter would become critical. The human toll would be staggering, making preparation not just wise, but essential. This scenario demands urgent action, not fear. The violent shaking of an earthquake is only the beginning for coastal communities. What follows can be far more devastating: a massive tsunami, capable of wiping out everything in its path within minutes. For those living near the ocean, the threat is ever present, lurking beneath the waves and waiting for the right moment to strike. The sheer unpredictability of tsunamis makes them one of nature's most terrifying disasters, and their impact can be catastrophic for anyone caught unprepared. When a sudden shift in the seafloor occurs, it can displace an enormous volume of water, unleashing waves that tower up to 15 meters high. These waves don't just roll in slowly, they race toward the shore at speeds comparable to a jet airplane, sometimes reaching over 800 kilometers per hour in deep water. As they approach land, they grow even taller and more destructive, giving coastal residents little time to react. In places like Vigan, the force of these waves can be unimaginable. Tsunami surges could reach nearly 50 feet, smashing through buildings, sweeping away vehicles, and leaving entire neighborhoods in ruins. The devastation is swift and total, with little left standing in the aftermath. The most frightening part is how little warning there is. In Zambales, for example, the first tsunami wave could strike just 2 minutes after the earthquake. That's barely enough time to register what's happening, let alone escape. Every second counts, and hesitation can be deadly. There's no time to wait for official alerts or sirens. The earthquake itself is your only warning, a natural alarm bell telling you to run for higher ground immediately. Survival depends on quick thinking and immediate action, as the waves can arrive before any formal warning is issued. The power of a tsunami is relentless. Entire barangays can be wiped out in minutes, with multiple surges and deadly currents sweeping through streets, destroying homes, and carrying away anything in their path. The aftermath is often a scene of utter devastation, with communities left to pick up the pieces. That's why understanding the speed, size, and unpredictability of this threat is absolutely critical for everyone living near Luzon's western coast. Knowing the risks and being aware of the warning signs can make the difference between life and death. Preparedness is your best defense. Practicing evacuation drills, preparing emergency kits, and knowing your escape routes can save lives. In the face of a tsunami, immediate action and community readiness are the only ways to protect yourself and your loved ones from disaster. The entire western seaboard of Luzon is at risk, but some areas face greater danger due to geography and population. Pangasinan, La Union, Ilocos Sur, Ilocos Norte, Zambales, and Bataan are directly exposed. Waves could arrive in minutes. Low-lying coastal towns, popular with tourists and fishermen, would have almost no time to evacuate. Cavite and Batangas, though more sheltered, still face significant tsunami and earthquake risks. Metro Manila, with its dense population and critical infrastructure, could see widespread collapse and chaos. The effects would ripple nationwide, crippling ports, power, and supply chains. Even Cagayan and Mindoro would feel the impact. A Manila Trench disaster is a national threat, demanding a united countrywide response. When seconds count, nature's warnings are your best alarm. First, a strong earthquake. If you can't stand, evacuate immediately. Second, a sudden change in sea level. If the ocean recedes or rises rapidly, run for higher ground. Third, a strange roar from the sea, like a freight train or thunder, signals an incoming wave. Don't wait for official alerts, act on these signs. Remember, shake, drop, roar. Feel the quake, see the sea change, hear the roar, evacuate at once. This simple knowledge can save lives. Every coastal resident must know and practice these signs. The Manila Trench's threat is real, but preparation is our best defense. Government and communities must update hazard maps, establish evacuation routes, and conduct regular drills. Every family should have an emergency plan and a go bag with essentials for 72 hours. Practice evacuation routes until they're second nature. Communities must help the vulnerable and set up simple warning systems. Stricter building codes and resilient infrastructure are vital for long-term safety. Knowledge and readiness turn fear into action. PHIVOLCS' warnings are a gift of time. Our survival depends on how well we prepare, together.